Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. Welcome. So I figured better late than never. I just did the Mo divination for the week, and then sat down and took the folded up my folded up my Zen and put it away, and because it's hot. And we still do not have air conditioning fixed, but the good news is that the heat, we had a heat, what do they call it, a heat warning or whatever, but it's broken now. So the heat broke, which is a good thing, unlike the air conditioning. But yeah, it's good. We're good. All is well. Things have been very, very busy. And so I'm doing whatever I can to make sure I don't need to edit my videos this week because I almost really just couldn't get them done. But I managed to find a little space this evening to get that in, and here we are. So tonight I'm going to use the Philarcos Tarot by Carmen Sorrenti, one of my all-time favorite decks. If you're interested in knowing more about it, I hope reach out. If you're interested, reach out. There's plenty, or look it up. There's a load of videos out about it. I put a few out myself, I think, even. It's a very beautiful deck. And I pre-shuffled it, so I won't do too much here. It is a little bit glossy, but a really stunning, stunning deck. Okay. So I'll be using the usual weekly reading, tarot reading spread that I've been using. What is it, Bubby? Did you go hot? Did you go hot? We went to my mom and dad's for the weekend because their air conditioning is stellar. And I wanted him to be comfortable, but we came back tonight after the heat broke, and I think he's not as comfortable as he was at my mom and dad's. But who would be? We don't keep our house at 68 degrees all year round. So there we go. So the first card is basically what will be the energy that's with us predominantly throughout the week. Okay. Ooh, strength. Wow. Wonderful. Okay, so the strength card. So yeah, the prevailing energy this week for most of us looks to be leonine in nature. So courageous, big-hearted, leading from the heart, finding the sort of inner resources to meet with whatever comes up, and manage it really well. So that's a great energy to start the week with. So the second card is what's in our highest interest to place our focus upon. So or the highest interest to make our priority is what it is. What's in our highest interest to make this week's priority? Temperance. Wow. Two majors this so far. Two majors. So temperance. So our priority this week is alchemy and balance. So it's allowing space. Pardon me, I have to clear my throat. It's allowing space for both, the elements of fire and the elements of water, whatever comes up, and it's saying yes to what comes up and looking for ways to bring balance to it, knowing that we've got plenty of strength, and plenty of courage and plenty of ability to handle it, right? To handle whatever comes up. This may also indicate a certain amount of spiritual challenge or spiritual transformation and alchemy over the week this week. So, if spiritual practice is a major priority for you, this will be the week to really put that effort in. It will be meeting with great results, I would say. And then finally, what what do we need to be mindful or aware of in the coming week? Shh, 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 shh. Just a minute, okay? Just a minute. He very hot. He really want mama attention right now. Okay. Okay, to be mindful of. Wow. So it's the Two of Wings, or, oh, look at that. Or the Two of Swords. And look at what it says there. I was just talking about alchemy. We've got the alchemy of opposites, it says. So it's holding, and she's using a lot of balance analogy in this card and the ability to find balance, to keep balance. So, I mean, it kind of doubles down on the message in many ways of temperance, right? Which is, we're allowing that alchemy of opposites, right? And on a more, so this is on a much more spiritual level, on a more mundane level, in our thoughts and in our thinking, be aware of the fact that this is what is taking place and allow it, right? A lot of times the brain or the mind wants to search for a problem to solve. We love that, don't we? And the brain is an organ, and like all organs, it is designed to do something or process something. And the thing it's meant to process is thinking and solving problems. So where it doesn't find a problem automatically, it will create one. So just be aware that as these opposites come up, they're going to bring some tension to our thinking and the way that we view the world, and that's okay. It's allowed to be there. We just need to hold some space for it and allow those two things to balance themselves out. I think probably too, taking time to just, I'm thinking of the actual Two of Swords at this moment, taking the time to just close off, right? I have actually invoked a time or two in moments of great stress, which happens to all of us, invoking that Two of Swords where I can just close and go inward, and I don't have to do anything. I can just be in my thoughts, in my mind, and hold space, but I don't actually have to problem solve. I don't have to hold any I don't have to do anything. In other words, I don't have to do anything or think anything. I can just be. And there can be stillness, right? Stillness. I don't have to take anything in from the outside. So in many ways, that is an alchemy all its own. So if we get into moments this week where it feels like the stress of dealing with, what's happening on a bigger level, right? On a more spiritual level, on a more, what's the word I want here? Archetypal level. That's it. On a more archetypal level for us. Taking that moment or two here and there to let things balance out in stillness, right? There is, even when things are moving, right? There's a lot of movement in this card. It's a circus act, right? But at the same time, we're finding the stillness in that circus act and finding the ability to just quiet the mind anyway. You can always go into that space and hold it for yourself. In fact, I feel like I want to find that card real quick. I think I know where my cards are. Don't I? Do I? Maybe I don't. I think I do. I did some rearranging. Is it here? No. Oh, it's next to it. Better be quick because I'm not going to be editing this video. That's the whole point. I pre-shuffled and everything so as I would not need to edit the video. I hate not editing videos because I always say and talk too much, but it can also be a practice of being concise. So I know we all know, I hope we do, maybe we don't, but I think we all probably know what the Two of Swords looks like. But I also feel like there's a great deal of power and magic in bringing that card to the fore and calling it up. Okay, so in those moments where we need it, Literally place both feet on the ground. Even if you can't, you can imagine the card. You can imagine the card, and there can be space and quiet and peace. Notice how still the water is behind her. You know, she's sitting on a stage. This is one of the stage cards, right? So keeping in mind, Pamela Coleman Smith was a set designer and worked in the theater for a while, okay? So this is one of her cards where we have a stage, we have a character on a stage, and we have a backdrop. And the character is clearly pensive and thinking and holding a state of inner balance for herself. So it's nothing too deep, nothing too deep. But while that, while this inner alchemy is taking place, and this alchemy of opposites that Carmen Sorrenti is pointing out here, to me, her card shows a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement. And yet, despite all of the circus going on, these two relatively delicate looking things, this little king and queen in here, are able to find a place of balance and stillness anyway, right? So that's kind of the energy we're working with. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on, but we've got the ability to find some space and some peace in the midst of all of that. Okay, so keep in mind that you have all the strength and all the courage, all the heart, all the space that you need for the coming week in order for it to go extremely well. All right, you have everything you need to be able to make this your priority. So that priority is allowing, look at all of that movement, right? Allowing there to be some major alchemical shifts, It may also, for some of us, there may be situations where we're called to be, almost called to step into the fray, right? Step into a circumstance or situation where things are really, really challenging, and take a position of leadership and oversight, okay? And if that happens, be mindful that you can always find that stillness and peace, even though everything is churning and moving. There may also, for some of us, be some conflict resolution coming up, where again, you're going to be stepping into the fray, or we are. I can already see how this one applies to my own situation, and have to take on that role, as the person holding space for conflict resolution to arise. The most effective means of dealing with conflict, where you're not the focus of the conflict, but there's conflict taking place around you. Quiet, stillness, go inward where you can, so that you can hold space. You don't have to be the one picking up the sword. But if you can hold the space for others to feel safe and calm and witnessed without too much happening, that, great alchemy of opposites, which could be in the form of resolution, can be found. Okay? So I'm curious. I'm really curious. I want to know if that applies to anyone. I absolutely see where it applies to my own situation, which is really encouraging. It's not really my situation. It's a situation I'm called to attend to. But I'm curious about how it might manifest for some of you as well. So thank you for your patience. I could not do my weekly ritual of doing this. There's something in me that was just like, I have to. I can't not do it. So I'm glad I was here, and I'm glad I did it. And hopefully we'll have better quality video that's a little bit more edited and pulled together next week. And like makeup and contact lenses and all of that. All right, friends. Take care. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.